Together with our partners, Australia has opposed Israel's humanitarian blockade and expansion of military operations in Gaza. And together with our partners, we have opposed the expansion of settlements in the West Bank like those announced by the Netanyahu government just a couple of weeks ago. And together with our partners, we have imposed sanctions on Israeli settlers for their violence against Palestinians. So far, the Netanyahu government has ignored this international opposition. Now, just as when we applied those sanctions previously and just as when we applied sanctions against Hamas for their terrorism, Australia never speculates about possible future sanctions. We apply them without warning because that makes them harder to evade. And overnight we have done that. Australia has applied targeted financial sanctions and travel bans to two senior ministers in the Israeli government, Ministers Ben-Gvir and Smotrich, for their role in serious human rights violations and abuses relating to Israeli settler violence in the West Bank. They are the most extreme proponents of the unlawful and violent settlement enterprise. And we have applied those measures with others. We have applied those measures in coordination with Canada, New Zealand, Norway and the United Kingdom. This action is the result of many months of effort and coordination. And together, these countries are sending a message. You have ignored the international community and we do not tolerate it. The situation in the West Bank and the situation in Gaza are untenable both for civilians and long-term peace in the form of a two-state solution. Happy to take questions. I was going to go to Liz first, but she's not here. Oh, there you are, the back.
The US has said that these sanctions are, we pre-arranged it, these sanctions are extremely unhelpful. I know you've said that you gave no warning, but did you at all speak to the US, warn them or invite them into this coalition of partners to make those sanctions?
Look, we've engaged in Washington and Canberra overnight, but what I would say about this, first, obviously, in the history of our alliance, there are issues on which we have taken different approaches. And I would make the point that we are acting with others. We are acting with the United Kingdom, we are acting with Canada, we are acting with New Zealand, and we are acting with Norway.
Minister, was there any consideration of sanctions against Benjamin Netanyahu personally, and you note that his government doesn't support a two-state solution. Is peace and a ceasefire possible with Benjamin Netanyahu in power?
Look, we have, with others, targeted sanctions, personal sanctions against these ministers because whilst they are not the only members of the Israeli government whose actions have been problematic, they are certainly the most extreme. And as to other matters, we don't speculate about the approach. We maintain our position that we think two states, which is not supported by the Netanyahu government, still remains the only viable path to peace and security for both Israelis and Palestinians. I'll go from right to left. So.
Penny Wong, the US statement says that your statement doesn't advance the US-led efforts to end the war. Do you have confidence in those efforts having any impact?
Oh, look, we all want peace. We all want peace. And we will continue to advocate for and work for peace. We will continue to advocate for the return of the hostages. And we will continue to advocate for the delivery of humanitarian aid. I think we all want the situation in the Middle East to resolve.